The Olympics are all about showcasing the sheer talent of those that compete, but there's no denying that what the athletes wear also undergoes intense scrutiny. Today we look at some of the most iconic outfits worn at the Olympics. Some have pushed boundaries, others have left us wondering what on earth they were thinking, and others will remain a fond memory. Number 26. Let's start at the very beginning. 1924 was the year the first Winter Olympics took place in France. It's incredible to see one of the very first outfits that was worn by Sonja Henie for the figure skating. On a side note, she was only 11 years old at the time. The Norwegian superstar went on to win 3 gold medals in the Winter Olympics, 1928, 1932, and 1936, and also made a huge name for herself in Hollywood and hosted sold-out ice shows across the world. Number 25. Say it with style. We shoot forward to the year 1972 and have a look at what Canada wore at the Summer Games, which took place in Munich. They sported wide collars, feathered hats, and polka dot shirts, and despite not receiving a first place in anything, they most certainly came in first for style. Number 24. The good, the bad, and the ugly. You may not believe us when we tell you this is an ice hockey team from Australia. It's their first and their last one, and they took on the likes of USA and then Czechoslovakia. You can imagine how intimidated they must have been. They lost both games, but it wasn't just the game they lost. They scored terribly in the fashion section too. Mustard yellow sweaters with a feminine Peter Pan collar, they look like they belong in an all-boys school rather than a professional ice hockey team. Number 23. Totally 80s. The 1980s called and they want their jackets back. This was the gear worn by the Czech Republic at the 2014 Winter Olympics. The Czech Republic didn't do badly at the games. They walked away with 2 golds, 4 silvers, and 2 bronzes. Number 22. What were they thinking? There are mixed feelings on the outfits worn by the Russians at the Olympic Games in France in 1992. Some say the team looked pretty suave, but the majority seem to feel the trench coats took it a little too far. You almost get the impression that one of them is going to surprise the audience with a little flash, don't you? Number 21. Artistic freedom. Call it what you will, but what was probably meant to look like paint splatters looks a lot like something from a slasher film. This was worn by Hungary in 2008, and maybe it was a subtle way of telling the competition they intended on making mincemeat out of them. Number 20. Cowboy up. This questionable outfit was worn by Team USA at the 1980 Winter Olympics, which took place at Lake Placid. Considering that America were the hosts for this prestigious event, you would surely have expected a little more creativity and forward thinking than cowboys, wouldn't you agree? Number 19. Going for gold. It's a real shame that the footage is in black and white, but in 1952, Jeanette Altveg not only won a gold medal in the women's figure skating competition, but she also wore a metallic dress, which was a first for competitors. Not only did her highly unusual gear catch the attention of the judges, but so did her flawless skating. Number 18. No equipment necessary. It was 1972 when Mark Spitz set an Olympic record for winning 7 gold medals in one single game. He was also quite the trendsetter because he swam with his mustache intact. He ditched the goggles and cap, and he said that the mustache actually deflected the water away from his mouth, streamlining him even further. Number 17. If I Could Turn Back Time. Cher must have been singing about this crazy ensemble worn by the Canadian ski teams for the 1972 Olympics. Granted, the guys don't look too bad, barring the fact that one guy seems to be wearing a pair of Vans, but it's the girls that look utterly ridiculous. Miniskirts in the middle of the iciest conditions and then teamed up with Yeti shoes could not have given the girls much confidence. Something notable from the 1972 Olympics, it was the last time that a skier won gold using all wooden skis. It's been fiberglass ever since. Number 16. Acceptable in the 80s. You might find it hard to believe this was not from the 80s, but in fact from the 2014 Winter Olympics. Overall, there seemed to be a large number of fashion blunders in 2014. This gear was worn by Team Estonia, who may not be remembered for any notable winnings, but will never be forgotten thanks to their outfits. Number 15. No publicity is bad publicity. This ensemble was designed by Ralph Lauren for the Americans competing in Sochi. It reminds me a little of the ugly sweaters so fondly loved by the Americans over Christmas time. At least Ralph Lauren has made amends in 2018 by designing those gorgeous heated jackets which sold out in minutes. Number 14. Where's Wally? Sorry to disappoint, you won't find him here. All you'll find are a group of Swedish athletes looking uninspired in their Where's Wally outfits for the Summer Olympics that took place in London in 2012. Fortunately, their bad outfits didn't hamper their wins, and they walked away with 1 gold, 4 silvers, and 3 bronze medals. Number 13. Spot the tourist. You have to wonder who gives the go-ahead for the outfits worn by the athletes at these very public opening ceremonies. Who thought it was a great idea to dress the Australians up as tourists while attending the 1992 Summer Olympics in Barcelona? The only thing missing with their outfits is a camera dangling from their necks, a fold-out map in their hands, and a bewildered expression on their faces. Number 12. History in the making. 1992 was significant for 2 reasons. First, it was the last year that the Summer and Winter Olympics would be held in the same year together, and it was the year that USA's Kristi Yamaguchi skated in this Wonder Woman-like costume, which also saw her walking away with a gold medal. She was inducted into the US Olympic Hall of Fame in December of 2005. Number 11. Gold Rush. It was 1980, and Eric Heiden was about to make history at the Winter Olympics. He wore this incredible gold suit when he competed in his events and walked away with 5 gold medals. He has been called the greatest skater ever by various publications, and he is an all-around incredible sportsman. He's now a physician and lives in America. Number 10. Memorable performances. They might have had many, but that's not what the Germans are going to be remembered for at the Winter Olympic Games in Sochi. They'll be remembered for the crazy outfits they wore that required anyone viewing to don a pair of sunglasses. We can't get used to the bright jackets, but then to team up with the red patterned trousers, that's just taking it too far. Number 9. Coat of many colors. It was Australia that hosted the Summer Olympics in 2000, and it was Japan that wore these multicolored capes. Wouldn't it be great to know what their reasoning behind the capes was? Possibly to distract their competitors from the fact that they were going all out in the games. 5 gold, 8 silver, and 5 bronze. Number 8. Spring into action. The guilty party again is Team Japan. This time we shoot forward to 2004 and have a look at their very floral ensemble. They look like they're ready for a walk in the park on a warm spring day and not about to kick some butt at the Olympic Games in Athens. Number 7. Freestyling. And freestyle skier Edgar Grosperon took fashion into his own hands when he donned these bizarre ski pants with giant eyes on them. It was the 1992 Winter Olympic Games in France, and dare I say it, all eyes were on him. Number 6. Hit the ground running. South African icon Zola Budd had her claim to fame for several reasons. One of them being that South Africa was knee-deep in apartheid at the time she competed in the 1984 Games in California. Budd ran on behalf of the UK, as her grandfather was from there. The second being that she would run barefooted, and thirdly, she and Mary Decker somehow got entangled and Decker came crashing to the floor. Budd said she gave up after that. The pressure to compete in the games, the build-up to the event, and then the fall was just too much for the then 17-year-old. Number 5. I'm a model. It's almost like Ralph Lauren forgot he was dressing athletes and turned them all into cover boys. These pretentious outfits were worn for the 2012 London Olympics. There was a plus side. Polo Ralph Lauren donated 10% of the royalties of any clothing sold with the Olympic logo to the United States Olympic Committee. Number 4. Schoolboy fun. Another preppy outfit, but this time worn by Team Netherlands at the 2008 Summer Olympics. You have to admit, they do look smart, but they also look like they're fresh out of school. They outperformed any school kid though, taking home 7 golds, 5 silvers, and 4 bronzes. Number 3. Expect the unexpected. These eye-catching outfits were worn by the South Koreans at the 1992 Olympics. Perhaps other athletes followed suit very quickly. Do the South Koreans know something that we don't know? Number 2. Pretty in pink. Pink is for girls and blue is for boys. That's how it was for the Germans at the 2012 Olympics. Number 1. What not to wear. A highly scandalous outfit was worn by Katarina Witt at the 1988 Calgary Olympics. It was the first time that a figure skater did not wear a skirt. Since that notable occasion, there has been the Katarina rule, which required female skaters to have a skirt covering her hips and posterior, although the skirt part was scrapped in 2003. Despite the shocker of an outfit, she still received her gold medal. What have been some of your favorite outfits worn at the Olympics? Let us know in the comments below and subscribe to our channel for more incredible daily videos. Thanks for watching.